Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 109. Let's jump into things. Okay, fair amount of stuff going on. Not a lot of crazy battles yet, but a lot of movement going on all over the game. So let's talk about everything that's happening. We have completed Blood Magic 9. We're done with every single research in the game. We are now only researching Conjuration. I do wish... I don't know. So, there's, some games with research trees have it where there's a whole lot of research everything, and eventually you'll hit a cap, and you're done. And that's it. And that has a certain symmetry to it. It has this concept of, like, putting too much into research. You can get very far into research very quickly, right? But eventually, if you dedicate yourself to research, you run out of research, and then it can be difficult. Like, if you use too many resources producing things like lightless lanterns per se, right? That means you're not producing, might not be producing other things that those resources could have gone to. So that's kind of a unique resource management trade-off. Then you get other games where once you hit the maximum in a research tree, you kind of you just keep researching and you get bonuses for what you research. Like, you either get a score, or you get additional power, or you convert research into some sort of other resource, etc. Obviously, Dominions is not one of those games. So once you hit the resource cap, research cap, once you've researched everything, there's nothing else to be done. That's it, period, and end of discussion. But that being said, I don't know if I have a preference for one of those two. Me talking about this wasn't meant to do anything. It was just to talk about it. I got to thinking about it on this turn. I've been thinking about it for the last couple turns, actually, but I really heavily got to thinking about it on this turn, and I can't really decide which I prefer. I like some things about the concept of managing your resources, and then when you're done with research, you're done with research, right? If you put too much into it, or you put too little into it, that's your bad. But I also do like the concept of being rewarded, like a mechanic of the game, such a big mechanic of the game, not suddenly falling to the wayside, right? So I think it'd be interesting if perhaps maybe like an option, like a choice in the game setup, where you could set it to where, like, if you check a box, research turns into something, right? Like, additional research after you have researched everything else in the game. Then every 100 points of research gets you a random gem, or 10 gold, or I don't know, like something. It'd be interesting to then have some sort of functionality from your research after that point. But at the same time, I think it's the game itself functions within this kind of concept, again, of like managing your resources. If you're going too heavy on research, that can mean that you're not protecting yourself at a current point in time. It's kind of a gamble. It's a risk versus reward trade-off. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know that I would want to change the game entirely. So I think the option would be cool. Anyways, let's just talk about this for 5 minutes for no fucking reason. Anyways, we're done with research. Cool. We flames from the sky in Sleepy Wolds. 108 units killed. Dope. We do a Gift of Reason. Cool. Dark Knowledge finds nothing. Augury finds nothing. We do another flames from the sky, and this kills 83 units in Gibernia. Okay, cool. These are the Great Hawks to the north of the Pangean area. And then Gifts of Nature's Bounty is dispelled. Now, I don't... the messaging... I'm not always familiar with the messaging. That's because I don't play enough games, or else I forget, or what have you. But I do believe the messaging is different between your global being dispelled and it being replaced by another global. So I do think, and I could be wrong, but I do think our Gift of Nature's Bounty was intentionally dispelled I would assume Hinam at this point, considering Hinam has Arcane Nexus up, probably has plenty of Astral Pearls to go around. So that is it's not unanticipated, it's kind of expected, and I had been wanting to store up nature gems to, you know, then immediately respond. Hey, back up, you know, that type of thing. Unfortunately, because we're making our move, we just don't have that option right now. So we're kind of gonna be in a weird place for a little while, but I'm not super concerned about it. I'll talk about it more later why. Curse of Blood comes up, another augury finds nothing. We cloud trapeze a Gudu into Mictlan. That's funny. Augury finds nothing, augury finds nothing, augury finds nothing. We do another Lichcraft, another Dark Knowledge finds nothing. 2 more Flames from the Sky. This one hits Sleepy Wolves for 84 units, and this one hits Greendale, which is just south of Kailasa, for 65 units. Cool, great. Dire Portent, as Hinam puts up another global enchantment. Again, it's weird that some global enchantments have like these drawn out kind of like descriptions, and others don't. This is Dark Skies goes up. Dark Skies is -1 morale for every candle, Dominion candle you have for enemies in your territory. So yet another. So this is going to be hard fighting into Hinam's territory because we are going to have lower morale than we otherwise would. Tough. And if Hinam is good about it and he combos that with things like Wailing Winds and Blood Rain, then he could and Fear, he could very easily morale bomb us super hard. And there's not a lot we can do about it. So some Kusarikus, another Dark Knowledge finds nothing, another Tartarian Gates, and then we have a couple of different battles. These are 2 Magic Phase battles. We have a battle in Murius and a battle in Delufe. So, Magic Phase from Hinam. We've got a Giant Mummy, Astral Zen. Okay, has a Dragon Helmet, has an Armor of Virtue. Okay. And an Amulet of Anti-Magic, and it has a whole bunch of Blood Slaves. This guy has 2 fire, 3 astral, 4 blood. He's up against a bunch of PD and Tart 3, our Tartarian Titan. So I think he did not anticipate us putting 20 PD in here. Because... So, yeah. We'll just see how it goes. So he goes Phoenix Power. We're casting Liquid Body. His Body Ethereal. We do Fire Shield. And he starts to do Infernal Prison. Now, Infernal Prison sends someone to hell, basically. There's no save. There's nothing. It's just, boom, someone goes to hell. And his hope there was, right, to send my Tart to hell. The problem is I've got a whole crap ton of bodies here. And there's no guarantee that he's going to cast it on one of my people. Also, we're kind of killing a lot of his blood slaves as this is happening. So, that kind of left this this Mummy Lord a little bit in the lurch, truth be told. So now he's got to fight realistically. So here's the thing, though: he could rout my Tart by killing all of these PD, because these PD aren't gonna kill him. But my Tart is. Boom! Immediately killed him. Wait, did we kill him? Or did he bounce? I think he bounced. What battle? It looks like he bounced. What did he have on him? Did he have a... Oh, is that what? Yeah, he has returning on damage. So, as soon as he actually got hit by us, he fucking left. Wow. Nice. Very interesting. Okay, then we were attacked in Delufe. Oh, shit. Alright, so... Semyaza is on the move, and this guy's a fucking nightmare, man. And this is the type of reason why I'm like, I don't know that I can actually do anything. I don't know, and I've been saying this for 30 or 40 turns at this point, right? Like, I don't think I can actually compete with late game Hinam or Lanka. The things that they have access to are just so astoundingly better than what I have that it's just, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything. So this thing has a Frostbrand. Okay, fine. It has the Summit, which is one of the highest damaging weapons in the game. Super great attack, has really good defensive statistics as well. Just a fantastic weapon. He has got the Amon Hotep, which is a legendary crown. Gives you mummification, gives you a bunch of magic resistance, good fire resistance, gives you awe. Otherwise, not the greatest head protection, but whatever. You're taking it for the other stuff. Chainmail of Displacement gives you good defense and okay protection. Boots of the Messenger for reinvigoration. Gift of the Kurgi, which does lesser horror. It gives you Fear 30, it gives you Protection 20, it gives you Ethereal Flying, Storm Immunity. Fuck. Jeez. This thing's real fucking cool. It's just tainted, so. And then he has Krupp's Bracers, which are souped up bracers of defense with reinvigoration on them. Very, very, very strong, incredibly high defense individual. So he's up against the mass of mercenaries. He's sent Semyaza against the mass of mercenaries. I think Semyaza can probably just take my entire force, truth be told. Honestly. Oh, fuck. So this horror does come after Semyaza. Let's kick this up a little bit. Elemental Fortitude, Blessing, got Regeneration. He's gonna fly over everyone now, isn't he? Yep, and start landing in the back. So that's kind of unfortunate that we lost all our leadership. This was never really a battle, but it was never really going to be a battle anyways. I don't think even if Semyaza got unlucky and he flew into the infantry, it wasn't gonna matter. They couldn't do anything to him. So there go the mercenaries. We knew the mercenaries weren't gonna do anything. That was entirely anticipated. And the whole point of having the mercenaries was to have him send something at them. We got a bunch of blood sacrifices. Our god is reborn from last turn and is now attacked. Immediately attacked by a bunch of brass claw horrors. And these things are kind of scary. They do hit hard. We've got decent protection right now. Let's see what we cast. Iron Warriors. Strange. But we cast on ourselves. Good. Body Ethereal. A Body Ethereal is not going to do a damn thing. But we have 20 regeneration, so basically we're just going to try to regen tank this. 66. Oh, goodness. So the hope is we'll regen tank through this, and maybe our King's Skutata of Volturnus will actually cast. Not doing anything right now. We gotta get his arm back so we can give him a weapon. Huh, weird. It doesn't look like this Scutata Volturnus is doing anything. I wonder why that is. That's very strange. Regardless, we survive. And now we have a couple of battles. We have battles in Lankan territory, so us attacking into Lankan territory. We've got a Tart and a Lich here. And this is actually against a fair amount of what I'm assuming is Undead Chaff here to Blood Hunt. The annoying thing being is that the Blood Hunters, immediately in response, they start casting Imps. And the Imps are annoying enough to keep Tart 2 from casting his Soul Vortex. I think we also just get very unlucky here on this Lich. Gonna watch what's going on. So this Tart is getting his ass kicked. Pretty much straight up. Like, this Tartarian is getting the crap beat out of him. Tart 2 is taking a whole crap ton of damage. But the thing has a metric shit ton of HP, and it has built-in regeneration. So it's regenning a fair amount, and it's continuously killing a fair amount, right? So it's kind of a mixed scenario there. If it had been able to get Soul Vortex up, this would be much less of an issue, but... Hey, there's Soul Vortex. See, now that it has Soul Vortex, well, I say that, it's still basically doing this. So, interestingly, I think, to watch, or if we go check the, scenario. I don't really understand what happened to our Lich. It got hit for 3 points of damage and died. But our Lich had, like, a whole crap ton. I don't know where. Our Lich's health tanked. Took 0 damage. Took 0 damage. Took 0 damage. Took 2 damage. Took 4 damage. 1 damage. Took 3 damage. But, I don't know. Like, I guess we have been taking damage here or there. But it seemed like we were doing fine. I mean, it's not unexpected for... We have 0 gear on these Liches. You know, that was 100 units. So I'm not, like, especially surprised. But we did lose one of the Liches, or one Lich. He'll reform. It's whatever. Battle in Draugr. We've got Tart 5, Body Ethereal. He's up against basically nothing. Body Ethereal, Fire Shield, Astral Shield. Kill some stuff. Whop. Whop. Easy peasy. We attack in Turtle Glades. Okay, and this is just our army moving forward, and there's nothing here, so... Just gonna move on. We did lose 3 units, probably to our own stuff, but whatever. We are attacked in High Woods. So we've got a bunch of these Horite Shamans moving in. They've got a bunch of Mazics. And then we've got some of these long dead Rephites. Up against just some PD. So this could have worked out for us. The only issue being is, of course, PD does not... They don't protect anybody. So these Mazics aren't especially strong, but when there's... But they're very dense, right? And where there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 around you swinging for, 9 damage each, it's still gonna, it can still fuck you up. Okay, so we are attacked in Hallwood or Highwoods and lose. We do kill a little bit, but that's what it is. We attack in Shambolic. Right, another Tart and Lich combo. This one's significantly less that we're going up against, so. And we don't have flyers to deal with, so our Tart is able... And this is what we were hoping, right? Is that our Tart gets his Soul Vortex off, and then he runs forward to kind of like meet with the Long Dead from the Horde of Skeletons. And so the goal is that the Lich never really gets into melee combat, right? The Lich continues to just summon hordes of skeletons to support the Tartarian as the Tartarian runs forward. That's kind of the overall goal that we were trying to do in that initial one. We ran into troubles because the Blood Hunters immediately started casting, killing virgins and casting horde of imps. So that was the problem there. Oop. We've got another attack in Villia. Tart 3 attacks into some PD. Liquid Body, Fire Shield, Quicken Self. Whack, 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 whack. Easy peasy. We attack into Urful. And we've got, again, another Lich, another Tart, and another bigger army, again, with Blood Hunters. But these ones are set to retreat, interestingly enough. So we don't have to worry about that same type of situation. That being said, we have kind of a different setup here. So I don't think it go... I don't know if... I don't think it goes well. If that's what I'm remembering. So he begins to run forward. Our Tart begins to run forward. He has 25 protection. He has resistances, but this one doesn't have any regeneration, and that is a problem. Absolutely is a problem. Our Lich is going to just start summoning the crap out of things, but we've got a lot that we're coming up against. So, also, I think this is a somewhat weakness, is that the Lich has a habit of when it is going up against undead, it looks like it likes to cast other things a lot more, like Wither Bones, for example, when it needs to be casting chaff. It needs to be casting things to get rid of, to face off against all these enemies. But it's not doing that. So that is a problem. So the Lich goes down, and now we are left with a Tartarian Cyclops, who's not taking much damage, but he is taking damage slowly but surely, and he doesn't have a lot going on, right? This guy's not really kitted out. Probably should have just had him come in here and Earthquake, but it's whatever. The thing that he does have going for him is a metric shit ton of HP. So he's slowly but surely whacking. Unfortunately, there aren't any pesky casters. Every time he hits, he basically kills. But it's a matter of, can he kill all of these guys before he gets killed? Before he gets drained, basically. The answer I'm remembering correctly, is no. Surprisingly. Surprisingly? I don't know if it's surprising. Damn. Do we turn timer this? This is kind of long. I'm actually really interested to see what happens here, because I do not remember. Whoop. Been taking a lot of damage. We're weakened. Got a bunch of people starting to run now. If he had anything going on, like if he had any sort of regeneration or any sort of AoE, even just multiple attacks or some sort of like retaliation or something. Ah, he is routed. Okay, so I'm assuming he either is going to die or he is going to cut his way free. Could be either at this point. Combination I see. So we kill pretty much everything here, but we're gonna route first. Right. Gotcha. Okay, well, that is what it is. Whatever. That was kind of a shit show. Okay, we lose the Lich, but we do not lose the Tart. That Tart does not do very well, though. Okay, we've got Mictlan. Battle in Mictlan, and this is just a Baal and Melkart coming at me. Really nothing that we're gonna be able to do. Our PD is not good enough to take on something of this nature. Okay. Gain Unrest in Silverfangs, lose Dominion in Eal, gain Misfortune in Glistening Peaks, got some deadly diseases, bunch of scouts discovered. Okay, the entrance to the fortification in High Woods is breached. Okay, that's just south of Mictlan. The entrance to Mictlan is unharmed. The fortress in Shambolic is unharmed. Fortress in Vilia is unharmed. And then we have a bunch of patrolling. Our troops in Sinkhole Swamp are starting to starve, but we have now taken care of that. No big deal. And holy shit, we've got a lot of movement. And we're already 28 minutes into this, so I will try to be concise and talk about stuff from the high level, because most of what we have done has not changed. Our big army is marching from Kailasa to Raphabolia this turn. We have a big army marching from Andoria to White Forest this turn. We have a big army marching from Sinkhole Swamp to Sleepy Wolds this turn. Okay. Everything about those armies has stayed pretty much the same. We have there's no like additional situation going on with those. So we're not gonna talk about them. They're big, massive armies. They're probably gonna, I'm assuming they're gonna get gem baited. I'm assuming that they're gonna get hit with things like flames from the sky. I'm assuming that, you know, Hinnom will probably teleport or cloud trapeze or do stuff like that with some thugs. Same thing with Lanka, I'm assuming, etc., etc. I'm actually assuming that Lanka and Hinnom both kind of teleport some armies in at me. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if Lanka and Hinnom stopped fighting or what. But I'm pretty sure that and I said this, right? We're either going to know, the game's either going to be over by turn 115, or we're going to know that the game is basically done by turn 115, because either this is going to work and the game will be done, or it's not going to work and Hinam and Lanka will have retaliated and we'll go, oh yeah, there's nothing that we can really do. There was a chance while we still had Gift of Nature's Bounty up to have just such a high income that we could kind of like attrition the both of them down. Without that up, though, I don't think that we have that capability. I am considering, how do we go about trying to get that back up? I don't know that we have good options for it, though. We're kind of at that point so late in the game where I have made unwise decisions with the gems that matter the most to me, and so put myself in a place where I cannot respond appropriately to certain things. Before any of this stuff happened, immediately after the battles, or immediately after finishing off Miklin, what I should have done was I should have messaged Lanka back when we had a working relationship, and Hinam put up Arcane Nexus. I should have immediately said, "Oh shit, Lanka, we have to deal with the Arcane Nexus. Let's do something with that." Maybe even roped Relay in. Although I think Relay is in the game to watch. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Relay might actually be waiting to like come out of the waters at all of us. But if that's what they're doing, they have been waiting for a very long time. So we'll see. But yeah, I should have worked with Lanka on this to get rid of Arcane Nexus. Arcane Nexus absolutely, I think, has given at this point given Hinam so much that I don't think there's anything I can do to challenge them from a global standpoint. They're basically going to be able to put up what they want to put up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to take down much of anything in response to them. So, kind of is what it is. Alright, aside from the big attacks, what is going on? We're doing a lot of little raiding attacks. You can see we're probing out into Hinam's territory. This is done mostly with Ishibs doing water elemental spam. A couple of smaller groups doing moss body attacks, etc., etc. So we'll see how that goes. And then we're continuing to probe into Lankan territory, mostly just in an effort to kind of mess his movement up or his options or anything like that. It's an important part, I think. Very good example of this is how Calum destroyed me in the in Lucid's tournament game, right? And how like people just elf in general. Taking away territory in between people's or around objectives really helps to constrict people's choices, their options for mobility and stuff like that. You can, especially if you get used to being able to travel X number of provinces or be able to hop around the map in a certain way, suddenly not owning the provinces that you're used to moving through and realizing that that movement now adds up is something that is hard to factor in. So we definitely want to start attacking multiple locations. So we're doing that with Tart 7, Lich 10, attacking into different locations. We're attacking with Tart 2 into Urfel. Simple, easy peasy. What else are we doing? We are sending reinforcements to a number of different locations. And now that we no longer have Gifts of Nature's Bounty, we are trying to consolidate some forces. A lot of the forces that we're trying to consolidate are going to be in because if this army is destroyed in Seacold Swamp and Sleepy Wolds, which I anticipate that it will be, we're gonna run into some issues. So I am actually pulling military from Perenna. I'm pulling military from Kohnberg. I'm considering. I'm pulling military from Titan's Breath, and I probably shouldn't be. But I'm kind of sending that towards Kailasa in case the Turtle Glades ones gets destroyed, and that's a bad move. I should be sending that up here to instead. So I'm gonna do that. And again, the purpose is if any one of these armies gets destroyed, right, if any one of these armies is unsuccessful, then I'm not going to be able to win in a short time frame. Meaning that even if I do win eventually, it's going to take me building an army back up, fending attacks off, elongating a fight, and then eventually being able to take something down. So that's going to take time, and turns to rebuild a sieging force. Now we have some interesting options that we can in a few turns, in a very few turns, rapidly expand our sieging power from where it would normally be. Right now we have very little income because we've been recruiting like crazy with Gift of Nature's Bounty, and this was not unexpected. I've been thinking about this since I put Gift of Nature's Bounty up, basically, as this kind of like, you know, someone's going to get rid of this. They're not going to let me keep it forever. But I'm not super worried about it, again, because either these armies are going to be successful, and that's that, done, game over, or one or more of these armies are going to be obliterated. And as one or more of these armies is obliterated, that is going to vastly reduce my upkeep. Like, one of these armies, any one of these armies, is a whole shit ton of upkeep. So, as soon as one of them is destroyed, I'm going to have another, you know, 1,500 gold to spend each turn, basically. So, not super concerned about that. Do I have anything else that I'm really thinking that we need to talk about? We do have a very big army down here in Ivermark that consists of mostly Thralls and Cadou Slaves, Blackhawks, and Dawn Guards. I am targeting it with 2 Flames from the Sky because it's big enough, obviously big enough to cause gem usage, but also big enough that I think it could just be a massive problem if it joins with the army in Raphabolia. So I'm going to hit it with 2 Flames of the Sky, hopefully pare it down. Each one should do, you know, 100-ish kills. That's not gonna debilitate it, but it should hopefully hurt it enough, kill enough units, and maybe kill some commanders so that the movement, less than half of the army is able to move where it wants to move, and we'll go from there. Yeah, see how that works out. Fingers crossed. Other than that, we are actually saving our fire gems this turn. We're only doing the 2 Flames from the Sky. That is actually kind of by design. We're trying to make sure we have enough to hopefully attack Lanka and defend Sleepy Wolds. Every single one of these, I say every single one of these, Sleepy Wolds, we have 1,373 siege power in Sleepy Wolds, and we should be able to pop Sleepy Wolds in 1 turn. As long as the army survives. In Raphabolia and in White Forest, that is not necessarily the case because these are 750 walls, whereas the Sleepy Wolds is just a 250 wall. Plus, there are many more larger enemies in White Forest and in Raphabolia, so it's entirely possible that we are unable to pop those in 1 turn, even though we have 1,000+ siege strength on both of these armies. Other forces, we have Tart 3, who is trying to demolish a temple up here on Villa. She's probably going to get killed because she's not going to have support now. But it is what it is. Nothing I can really do about it if she wants to be a silly goose. I say that. Just going to attack. Yeah. Put 2 scouts kind of in front of her. See if they'll... I can't get there. I get... Okay, is what it... If I Cloud Trapeze over here. And just start casting spells. Okay. In I think the last couple things that we're doing are in we're doing our normal stuff. We're doing a Tartarian. We're doing Lichcraft. We have Tarten is a fire and earth mage, but he has a never healing wound, and he is currently pillaging our capital. Oh boy. We're forging a bunch of different gear. We're trying to make sure that our forging is focused on areas that are either of vital importance, like Rings of Regeneration, or we are trying to do it in locations that have, or with stuff that we have a whole bunch of gems for, like death gems or water gems or air gems. But we can't always do that, so it is what it is. See how it goes. And we're trying to build up some of these tarts. We've got like Tart 9 right now, who is going to Cloud Trapeze onto Ghent in 77. I don't know if this is going to go well, but he is an heir to Earth 3. Who's going to Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Mist Form, Summon Earth Power, Flying Shield. He's going to do as much of those as he can. With Iron Skin and Temper Flesh, he should have very, very high protection, but he is not going to have regeneration. He does have a Skutad of Volturnus and a Frostbrand, and he will have a shit ton of HP, but I don't know that that's going to be enough. I'm hoping with the Mist Form and the Flying Shield that will be able to matter. But there are Meteorite guards here, and they have magical attacks, so they might just pop the Mist Form really, really quick. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be frank here. I don't really have an idea of what I'm doing at this point in the game. The game has gone so late. I have so little experience in this game in multiplayer from a late game perspective. I think a lot of people actually have little experience in the late game, in the truly like late game. There are so many things that I probably can and should be doing. I'm just not aware of them. And unfortunately, right now, my schedule is super crunchy. So I don't feel like I have the time to learn. That being said, in retrospect, right? Like, I'm doing these as I have time to do them, and it's a rush to get everything done. Late game turns like these, especially when they're turns with heavy scripting, take, some of them can take hours to put together. But that being said, I would love to hear people's suggestions on what I should be doing with different turns. Like, oh, okay, well, you're doing this thing, but actually with Lich 2 right here, you should be casting fucking Army of Dead every turn because it's a cheap, efficient way for you to be targeting. No, actually, fucking, like, should I be casting Army of Dead? Army of Dead. Boom. I have no idea if that's actually a worthwhile use of my gems, but we're gonna fucking do it. I'm interested to know what people think I should be doing with the resources that I have. Keep that in mind, right? Because some of my resources are very, very, very necessary for the armies that I have. And maybe that's a discussion point, though. Like, maybe some people will be like, okay, look, your armies, make them half the size and attack multiple different areas. You don't want to have such big armies because they're XYZ, etc. I'm super interested to hear what people have to say, and I'm super open to what people have to say because, again, I have never played a multiplayer game, I think, past turn like 82 or 83, right? And single player games, I don't think I've ever taken one past 100 turns. So this is absolutely the latest I've ever gone in a game. Really interested to hear what people have to say about the things that I could or should be doing. Let me know what you think. I think that's it for the turn. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.